All right, let's see. Sorry, I'm starting a little bit late. Late getting out of work, late getting out of a meeting, late having dinner. And let's see. Do I have everything ready? Doesn't seem like it. It's weird. Uh, it's streaming. Am I blocked? What's going on here? Shows I'm offline. Okay, shows I'm online. I just don't get an alert. Are you kidding me? I guess they don't really want anyone talking about this stuff, huh? What is going on? Hold on. Why can't I see anything here? Is anyone out there? Did the word blow up or something? Okay. It looks like it's working. All right. Hey, Eric. How's it going? Yeah, it's weird. I didn't get any email updates. Hey, Jack. How's it going? I was listening to your video. Your live stream. It was good. I got busy and had to do other stuff, so I'll have to go back and watch it. Wow, I still didn't get an email. I guess I unsubscribed to myself by accident. That's interesting. Nope, I'm subscribed. Wow, look at that. That's just weird. Maybe it's in my spam. It's not in my spam. Ah, okay. Screw it. Looks like YouTube's acting funny again. Thank you for restreaming or retweeting. Thank you. I'm gonna have to do like thankful Thursday on a Wednesday or something because I'll be back on a flight to Columbus, Nebraska on Thursday night right after work. So, and I'll be driving, so I don't think I'll be able to stream until after this Wednesday. Hi, Roseanne. How's it going? From Periscope. And but to make up for that, we've got a little bit tonight before James streams, if he streams. And then we've got 2 interviews tomorrow, one with the Political Avenger again. It'll be our second interview and group discussion, and that'll start at 9 p.m. Eastern time. And then we'll have LB the Realist on at 11 p.m. Eastern time. So we're going to have a back-to-back interview discussions with 2 different great commentators and journalists. And I mean, right now, I don't know if anyone could just be one thing. Excuse me. Everyone's doing a little bit of everything these days because you have to. I mean, even journalists that live stream, they have to understand technology, at least the basics of it, to understand how to stream. So you're also a technician. I mean, basically, you gotta understand how to operate things these days. You're pretty much all in one, I guess. Yeah. So today, I kind of want to cover gun control, and I know it's still going on, and it's a big distraction. And I don't know how to fight it. It's almost not. It's logic can't do it almost. Also, another note on March 24th on Sunday in Boston Common in Boston, there's going to be a march, a rally against gun control or for gun control. I'm going to try to make it. I'm going to try to film it, and I'll probably still be here, but let's just see how it turns out. I was kind of going back and forth with, excuse me, Garden Gnome, trolling a little bit, and I think I wear like my Ruski hat thingy. My daughter calls it a pilot hat, and have my own sign while I'm filming, and probably asking people questions out there. Just see what it is that they're rallying against, why it'll matter to them. Uh, anyways, that'll be that. And here, let's see. One thing that I want to show is I did a lot of tweeting today, which is not not a thing I do very often. But Chuck Morris, he did one on perspectives on school shootings. You can listen to him live on Facebook, but I just kind of wait till he uploads just because I can't get Facebook on my work network on the Boston office. So he talks about, so I made a comment about how there's just things not to get distracted by and keeping things in perspective. Basically, what my platform is about is we each have our own perspective. We don't have to worry about groupthink or whatnot. We think independently. We have our own perspectives. No one out there is going to have the same perspective as mine, and that's fine. And I'm not probably going to have the same perspective as you either. But we can see a lot of different angles to it and just kind of keep that into consideration. So I did a calculation, and if people want, I could go through it. You can actually Google or just use any search engine out there, DuckDuckGo, and look at the data yourself. I just did it, and I came up with a thing that I've been just kind of posting everywhere. Don't get distracted. Keep things in perspective. For every one person killed in a mass shooting, 2.6 people are killed by police. This is using 2017 data. 40 people are raped. That's 2016 data. And 3,836 people died from health-related issues. That's 2015 data. Just basically looking up to cdc.gov and the top 10 deaths, causes of death. And the latest data I saw was for 2015. Anyways, once we tackle those issues, I'll be all in for gun control. And these are some, holy crap. You know how much health-related issues that we've, 3,836 people for every one person killed in mass shooting. That should be our number one focus. That's the biggest thing right now. And instead of people going out on the streets, protesting any of these about all these rapes that are occurring, all these people dying from health-related issues, or even the police. I'm more afraid of getting killed by the police than I am getting killed in a mass shooting. The statistics, it's just right there. And one of the other things I was doing while I was looking at more data, and let me see if I can zoom in a little bit better. So I was looking at the top 10 leading causes of death by age group in the United States. Again, the latest is 2015 data, and you can see the source is from the National Vital Statistics System, National Center for Health Statistics, CDC, and where it's produced by. And so you can see the top 10 ranking 1 through 10 by age group and leading causes of death. And you can see homicide is at 369. I know it's white font with red background. It's hard to see. Is number 3 for ages 1 through 4, and that's a lot. Ages 5 through 9, homicide is 140. Basically, homicide is cause of death by, it's basically murder. And mass shootings would be based off of homicide, not unintentional injury. I don't see what the unintentional injury is, but if you're in a mass shooting, that's intentional. Homicide 158, that's an assumption. That's the best assumption that I've got. Age 15 to 24, of course, you don't know when that breakoff point is. I don't know why they don't do 15 through 17, 18 or 15 through 17, and then 18 to 24, but it's 4,733 for the homicide rate. Now, keeping things in perspective, what I wanted to find out was how many kids, because I was kind of replying to Chuck Morris, where he said he's not interested in stats. He wants to protect children and worry about stats later. That's exactly what I want to do. But you can't. I guess I'll just read what I replied. Like, I understand. I want the same thing as a parent of two, but stats matter. Say we abolish the Second Amendment. Let's say mass shootings don't go to zero. Maybe they even go up. It didn't necessarily protect anyone, including children. Data stats is how we gauge success. Let's say the U.S. government, like the regimes under Stalin, Hitler, Pot, and Mao, end up killing hundreds of millions of civilians. It happened. Are we willing, as a nation, to forfeit what liberties granted under the United States Constitution we still have left just to potentially save a few by risking hundreds of millions? I mean, stuff I repeat all the time. Here, you can see that I got this little snippet, and this is from PBS NewsHour. You can definitely find it if you do search engine search. Breakdown of U.S. mass shootings in 2015. Now, keep in mind, it says mass shooting defined as 4 or more people killed or wounded. So it's killed or wounded. So this right here is 78, where it involved someone under 18. So basically anyone from newborn to the age of 18, 17 before they reach the age of 18. 78 people total. Now, that's people killed or wounded. That's not necessarily 78 people dead that were under the age of 18. And you can see here that there's a breakdown of homicides, none on negative. That's less than 1 years of age. So I did some math, if I could get to it. Here we go. So basically what I do is I get the age breakdown, age 15 to 24, 10 to 14, 5 to 9, 1 to 4. And there's the amount of homicides, which is 4,733 here, 158 for age 10 to 14, 140, 5 through 9, and 369 deaths for ages 1 through 4. It's a total of 5,400. And what I do is I just divide that number by the total and I get a percentage. So this is a percentage breakdown of age groups where they're dying via homicide. Now, like I said before, there's 78 that's involved in mass shootings in 2015, killed or wounded. And the mass shooting is defined as 4 or more people killed or wounded. Now, this is an assumption that these homicides, they could be gun shooting deaths. We just don't know. They could be three kids killed at once. That's just not considered mass shooting. So this little snippet is based on mass shootings of 4 or more people killed or wounded. So not necessarily all killed. So there's a lot of assumptions here. I'm just trying to analyze data wherever I can find it. And it's very hard. I don't know why they make it so difficult to find raw data. And I don't want to spend hours and hours looking up the data. I just wish it was right there, but I will get to it. I will look at it more. But anyways, if you just do the math right here, based on the percentage of 78 in 2015 were involved ages that were under the age of 18, you get a total of 68.3 potential, or because they are from the homicide area, 68.3 deaths if you're age 15 through 18. Age 10 to 14, you're going to have 2.3 deaths. Age 5 through 9, 2 deaths. And age 1 through 4, 5.4 deaths. Now, for an entire year, just 2 deaths, age 5 through 9. I mean, it's horrible. Yes, absolutely. But it doesn't even make the bottom top 10. You look at, let's look at ages 1 through 4, 5.4 deaths. Ages 1 through 4, At number 10 is chronic low respiratory disease, 40. It's not even breaking top 10 anywhere close. You look at the highest, which is ages 15 through 24, got 68.3. And you can see here, it's nowhere near breaking the top 10. None of these are top 10. I mean, all you have to do is, what do these numbers mean? Let's look at the age group 1 through 4. At 369 deaths by homicide, only 5.4 kids were involved in a mass shooting, either by death or by injury. That means 363.6 kids age 1 through 4 weren't. Why aren't we looking at how those 363.6 kids were killed? Were they by gun thefts? Were they by stabbing? Were they by drowning? Were they by just beaten to death? By suffocation? I would rather look at the 363.6 kids that were killed by homicide, age 1 through 4, and finding out what the hell was killing those kids than just the mass shootings that gets exploited by mainstream media. And in the perspective, for me, not necessarily anyone else, but for me, there's just bigger stuff to look into. Is banning assault rifles going to affect these 363.6 kids age 1 through 4? No, I don't think so. Is having stricter gun control going to prevent 2 deaths for kids aged 5 through 9? Kids 5 through 9, there's 140 homicide deaths, and only 2 of them were from mass shootings. So 138 deaths via homicide for those kids. How were they killed? And two of them out of 140 it's not even 1%. It's not even 1%. And people are taking to the streets. That's all I want all the commentators talking about. I'm even talking about it, and I don't want to talk about it. It's very low-hanging fruit. It's, I don't know. I just think it's, I don't know. It just feels like a big distraction. And this is why I like talking to political avengers. She's got her eye on the ball. She has her conspiracy theorist stuff. I do too. But you know what? We're looking into it. Not many people look into conspiracy theory territory because they don't like the negative connotations that conspiracy theorists have, because it's been attacked, speared. Even if there is a conspiracy fact, mainstream media is just going to say you're a conspiracy nut. It doesn't matter. And who really cares to listen to what these mainstream media people say anyway? We all know that they're lying or pushing a narrative. So there you go. And then also I'll be the realist. He's got his own perspective and opinion on gun control. I'd like to hear his points. Everyone else that wants to talk about it, I like listening to it. I like hearing the perspective. And then it just goes back around to, is there something more important, or is this the most important thing? And is it really affecting a lot of us? In my opinion, and just my opinion, we tackled all the health issues that are going on. Heck, that might actually solve some of the issues of all these homicide rates, not just by gun deaths or mass shootings, but just homicides in general, and the lives that we'll be saving. It could also save people from being depressed or having mental illness, or maybe getting in or out of mental illness because of medication, non-medication, etc. all those are important things to discuss and implement, because they could be the underlying causes that causes these mass shootings. And then there's, of course, there's the other part of conspiracy theory, which I like to talk about, is we've got I wonder if I have it, however many billions of dollars that the FBI gets directly for funding. And I think I made where is it? I did a post on Gab, and I should be able to find it. Oh, wow. My tweet got blocked. All right. Maybe I got to join Eric in the block party. Looks like my tweet got blocked somehow. Yeah, tweet is unavailable. What was that tweet anyway? Oh my goodness. This account has been suspended. What? Did I just get suspended on Twitter? Really? Hold on. My goodness. Did I got suspended? Test tweet. I don't think so. Maybe someone else got suspended. No, I didn't get suspended. That's wacky. What? No, it's there. I wouldn't have this up if I was suspended. Okay, something weird is up. Maybe I got no idea. All right, here it is. I'm going to Gab. So here you go. I looked it up. You can look it up too. Data for October 31st, 2014, 35,104 FBI employees. 8.4 billion direct budget, where the fiscal year of 2014 was proposed. That's $239,288.97 per FBI employee. They can't stop 13 trolls or one Florida teen shooter. It just kind of makes you wonder. I mean, seriously, pay me that much. I'll bet you I can stop a troll or a Florida teen shooter, and there'd still be $8.3999 whatever billion left in the budget. I mean, that's just like I always say, they're either incompetent or complicit. And however way you look at it, we shouldn't be giving them more money or budget. We should be taking it down, saying, you know what, you guys aren't doing shit. Everyone else has accountability. Why can't you guys? You got one job, FBI. Come on. But you're not focusing on protecting anybody. I don't even want to go into that right now. Yeah, watch. I'll probably get smacked down somehow from the establishment one of these days. It won't be pretty. I don't know what else to say. As a quality assurance engineer, as a profession, when I find bugs in software or even issues with hardware, we write up bugs telling people, hey, look, we've got an issue here. And then they say, all right, how big of an issue could it really be? Should we fix it? And so you have these very severe bugs, high priority bugs, and you have these low priority bugs, low severity bugs. It's basically how what do you call it? A product manager or project manager will say is, how many people would this actually affect? And if I said, oh, it'll affect maybe less than 1% of the people who use the product, they're going to be like, whatever, low priority, low severity. But in this gun control debate about mass shootings, it's that small, very little percent. And it's like, oh no, stop what you're doing. We got to fix this. We got to fix this now. It doesn't make sense. I mean, you've got the bigger bugs, bigger issues out there. Let's fix those, because those are that's what's more important. That's what affects the most people. And fixing those would probably even fix the small stuff. You never know. So it just maybe someone has a different perspective. Maybe it's like people someone will say, it's like what's that movie with Matt Damon where they're searching for him, Saving Private Ryan. Maybe it's Saving Private Ryan. Maybe it's we should sacrifice a couple 100,000 to save the one or the two. Hi Stevie, how's it going?
Hey, doing good, doing good.
All right. I feel like I'm taking too much of a hostile position. Maybe I need someone else to show a different perspective where I might like, okay, I'll ease up a bit.
Well, I agree to a point. It's like, okay, when you look at statistics, when you look at the number of kids that get killed from U.S. bombs, or you look at the amount of kids that are young people that die from opiate or drugs and stuff like that, you look at kids. There's a lot of things. I mean, furniture probably I think probably kills more kids. It used to be the number one killer of kids, overturned furniture.
Yep.
So it's like I get it. It's like you're trying to like that's the rationality of it. I mean, people like you see these horrific things, and it's like just instinctive to like we got to protect these kids. Like of course. But I think there's a better way because I mean, guns. The focus on the guns is what bugs me. It's like it doesn't seem to make any sense. Now, I mean, there's small things we can do with that, but if you want to look at something that's going to save the most amount of lives, I would go with mental health care and just improving our communities. Because not only would it cut down on these instances, but it would also improve our lives overall. So and you avoid the whole people fighting over guns. That's I don't know. It just doesn't seem like the most effective way of saving people.
And that's a good viewpoint. I would I probably wouldn't disagree. I mean, I feel like yes, we can talk about gun control, how we can make things better, but we have to look at the data. We have to look at statistics. We have data from other states that we have varying states with different levels of gun control. And where's their good data to know that hey, this type of law enactment actually works uh, most of the time. I mean, it's never going to be all the time. And then we can also look at countries outside the U.S. that implement them, and it's a little bit different because U.S. so many people own guns. We also have two big neighboring countries, one of them being Mexico, and there's just a lot of turmoil in Mexico and South America. Um, Focusing on like gun control over in some country in Europe is going to be different, like France compared to the US. Or in Australia. Australia is an island. France has got so many neighboring other countries. They've both got strict gun control laws, but they also still have issues. And it's just there's it seems to be uh, kind of like the I'd hate to say it, but the left right paradigm is it's why do we even need to bother looking at the statistics? A lot of people say that, not just liberals, but conservatives as well. It's like we should just do something. It's like just doing something isn't going to work. It's I know people want to do something, but we need to actually think about what we're doing and not just going down a bad path.
Yeah, I mean, we got to be smart about it.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely got to be smart about it. I mean, when you start giving up rights, those are things that you don't get back.
Yep.
So yeah, no. I mean, banning guns it seems ridiculous, and especially when you look at all the different ways that you can. I mean, if somebody really wants to kill you, they can find a way,
Yep.
or kill massive amounts of people. So it's like maybe let's treat and not only that. I mean, if we had a healthcare system that completely treated people, mind, body, all this. It's like you wouldn't have the drugs. I mean, there would be less people on drugs. There would be less people shooting each other, shooting up schools. All this, violence. It, I don't know. It just seems like that would be the most effective
Yeah.
change. But then again, you also got to look at everything that goes into it. It's like we need more doctors, we need more nurses. Oh my gosh, it's almost like it would be a jobs program.
But I snork. But it's also, we might need more doctors. We might need all those professions. But if we can't afford it, what's the point? I mean, what's the point of having more doctors if people can't, like 80% of the people can't even afford a doctor?
Yeah, and that's why it's like banning guns seems like the quick, easy fix. But I mean, yeah, it's going to take time. It's going to take work. We're going to need people. We're going to need money. But look at how much money we're wasting on. Like now, people are talking about arming teachers, talking about putting police officers in there. Like, how much do you have to pay the police officers? I mean, like, So, I mean, their plan would take money too. So it's not,
Yeah. And also, if you look at all the data where guns are strict gun control laws, even with all these strict gun control laws, or without any gun control laws, stabbing to death, homicides are still high. I'd say they're even higher than gun deaths. I mean, we'd have to look at the data, but if there's no guns, what else have you? Knives are going to be the next best thing, and there's going to be more knife deaths than any mass shootings, even without those gun controls enacted. I mean, that's like the next thing that I could look at.
Well, several places went together and did a study. Center for Translational Epidemiology and Comparable Research out of Boston, Columbia University, Texas Southwestern School of Medicine, Boston Department of Medicine, Boston University, Columbia Law School, and all of them put together their data, and they say the number one factor is spending per state. If you order the states by what their per capita school shootings are, it all comes down to how much money is given to the local schools.
So the least amount?
The more money that you put in the school, the least amount of shootings they have.
Okay.
So the states that have a lot of money going per school hardly have any shootings.
Interesting.
So possibly the number one thing we could do immediately is fund the schools.
Wow.
Is there do they have like an average of like money that you put into schools where they see a dramatic?
I didn't read through the whole
study.
I was trying to pull up studies and I just got the abstract on it.
Yeah.
From the Injury Prevention magazine.
And poverty is another thing. I mean, that there are good people when they've got no outs, no money, no options. They don't go to crime, and I think they're just good people. They don't want to have crime. They don't want to go down that road. I mean, there are people who do because they might have some other things that they just don't want their kid to die or something or starve, etc., that they'll go into crime. But like taking one's life for one of your own, that's just, I would see that as just something that poverty kind of enables. I'm not sure if I would say enable is the right word. I hope someone save me from my own mumbling here. I just feel like why would anyone really, unless you're a greedy motherfucker, why would you really, if you're rich, why would you really steal from someone from gunpoint? You really wouldn't. I don't see that happening. But someone who like wants money to feed their kids instead of seeing the kid just always saying they're hungry, and you can see that they're losing weight. I mean, there's motive right there to go ahead and steal, rob, even at gunpoint. But rich person's not going to do that. Well-off person's not going to do that. I mean, just because the consequences are just bigger. So poverty makes you have to do certain things in order to survive. And I don't think we need to have that happen when, especially in the United States, where we're supposedly the richest country on earth, right?
Yeah, and it's not one of those things. It's also, not only does it force you to do things that like you normally wouldn't do, but even if, you're working at a minimum wage job and, you're barely making ends meet, you don't have to rob anybody yet, but, you've got your bill collectors breathing down your neck. You're just scraping by. You can't go out. You can't have fun. You can't, like socialize with people because, most of the time that costs money. It's like all these different things, and it just keeps adding and adding and adding. And once you do that for so long, sometimes it's just one more thing, it's like one more thing, and that's enough just to, it'll just make you snap. I mean, people can only handle so much.
Yeah. Hey, Kevin.
Hey.
All
right. So what are your thoughts?
Give me a few minutes.
All right. Yeah. I've been there. You get so depressed, and it's and like you can't like not appear poor if you're poor, to socialize. It's like I always said, hey, at least I've got my health, when I was a kid, because I did have my health. I didn't have any money. I had my health. That's the most you can say, or your mental facilities, but that's not going to, in my opinion, get the ladies. It's like, hey, look how strong I am. Look how witty I am. It's like, how'd you get here? Oh, I took the bus. It's like, would you like to come to my place? You just have to take the 70 and then transfer to the 74.
I don't know. Is that on the bus route?
Yeah. I mean, what kind of I don't know, pickup line is that? Really, I'm serious. You just can't impress anybody by being poor.
I don't know. Maybe it's different in other areas, but growing up around here, it's like most people are poor. So like, I never really judged anybody for like not having a car or anything. It's like, as long as you're doing something, if you're applying yourself, I mean, just being a bum is like, okay, yeah, I can't go out with that. But like, I don't care. Money's like, it's whatever. It's just paper.
But yeah, I bet society isn't built on that type of thought.
No, not at all.
Yeah. I mean, some people will only want to know you just because of how you dress, how you got there, and even employers, they just more care about where you went to school and graduated rather than about what you know. I'm not saying all of them, because otherwise I wouldn't have a job, but it's
a lot of them. The first question is how much did you make at your last job?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to find out how much they can do this time.
Sorry, say that again, Stevie or Kevin.
Oh, that's go ahead.
Oh, I said because the reason they asked that is because they're trying to figure out how much they can undercut. How much are you willing to get chopped down wage wise because you're so desperate for a job?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's like one of the first things people ask you. You meet new people or you go on a job interview. What do you do? What do you do?
Yeah.
Like, it's not what are you good at or what are your skills or, what do you do for fun? It's what do you do? What is your title?
Yeah. Anyways, staying on topic, is if we had to choose gun control or fixing climate change, which one would you pick?
I pick climate change.
Oh, for sure, climate change.
That's a lot more widespread. Yeah. That'll save a lot. The hell, that might actually get rid of the gun death thing, and it might not be direct, but because the whole climate change thing, you'd see it change energy infrastructure, employs shit tons of people. Everybody has more money. Things altogether less falling apart of crap, more all that, and that could help to lead to substantially reducing that from ever happening. That if everybody's happy, nobody's got a reason to go shooting people.
What about if you had to choose between gun control, saving people's lives from getting killed by guns, or universal health care? Which one is more important?
Everybody? Everybody else didn't answer the question last time.
I was up for climate change. I'm up for healthcare, universal healthcare.
I'd go with the healthcare one too, because those gunshot victims need healthcare afterwards.
Yeah.
Stevie?
It looks like Victor's stealing your attention there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of
getting a little jealous.
Kind of snuggling tonight. He wants to snuggle tonight.
Yeah. He was staring up at the camera earlier.
Yeah, all I have to do is just move, and he's got his head up against me. So,
all right, here's one that's even that might be closer to the border. Policing reform or gun control reform?
The police are doing a chunk of the killings. They're the ones. Yeah, that's kind of like obviously the police reform first, because that would directly lower the death rate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are probably armed to protect themselves from the police now.
Yeah. Come on, we got to have something where gun control is more important than some other type of thing. I mean, gun
keep
control,
going. We'll hit something eventually.
It's more important than Russiagate.
I would agree with that. It's more important. This
same. I would agree with that. But that's Russiagate's way the fuck down there. Like, or no, Russiagate putting it forward as a legitimate thing, like not the side of it that there's two sides. There's the side where they're just bullshitting everybody, and then there's a side that says, here's the stuff. Look what they're saying is true, and they're full of crap.
Yeah, and I think we need to be investigating Russia helping Hillary.
Yeah, anyone helping Hillary. Oh, warning out for Kim.com if you're watching. Hillary's going to New Zealand on a book tour. You never know where she might be stopping by your house, so just be prepared.
It is coincidental that they do have a large amount of death rates just in their proximity. Death rates and suicides.
Yeah.
I just, and also in an instance, Clinton Library, literally lake on fire, river on fire, fracking thing broke under the water, flames coming up through the water. Like they bubbled up to the surface and got ignited or somehow. But apparently, yeah, it's like, come on. I don't know how anybody can spin, maybe the Clinton healthcare thing, but anybody can spin anything she's done as a bonus to anybody besides herself for really, really rich people.
Or the flight last month where just days after they identified connection to some Russians to Hillary, their plane went down in Moscow.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, and see, just one time it's a coincidence, but this is a fucking pattern. Like weird shit keeps happening like this around them.
I think it was Stevie that told me about that airplane going down, and one of the people that was on the plane was here, let me see if I can see it. someone on Reddit posted they had a passenger list, and here we go. Let me share it. So you can see the passenger list. One name stands out, Sergei Pachenko, and so I guess that's QAnon probably. Hence, Russian plane crash was dossier, and Iranian one hit. The passenger manifest explosive got reality winner of the Arkansas of the Month award. CFO for Russian nuclear giant Rosatom. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. And I'm not even trying to say that name. So that's something that Kelly brought to my attention. See, this is what's so great about having so many different people just collaborate on just news. It's none of us can watch everything except for maybe Jenny, Shirley, Eric, a few people that do watch everything.
Rosatom is the company that facilitated the fuel going from Russia to North Korea.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Uranium One facilitated the transfer of U.S. uranium to Russia.
Yeah.
So the people involved in getting uranium from U.S. to North Korea died in the flight.
Does anyone else see the irony, or maybe it's not irony, that the very nuclear weapons and testing they're complaining about because they've been aggressors? Well, I mean, we have in a way to North Korea, but they've also been, but more side us, we could level them. Is it not weird that it's USA uranium that they're using to build their shit? Technically, like, got from here, isn't that just screwy? Like, that's how more of a clusterfuck could this be?
All right,
it's like embarrassing from every aspect. The State Department, military,
Yeah, if we have gun control, why don't we have weapons material control?
I know, right? I think
material control
material to build a bomb would be a little more important to keep your eye on,
because that's not a direct result of death until something happens, and you can't really see it until that happens. Anyways, James is doing a monologue. It's only a monologue tonight, it seems. So we'll keep this going. I'll probably switch it from on topic to that's distracted by gun control to anything goes, open topic. But I'm gonna go ahead and share the monologue event while I'm going through all that. So.
And by the way, I'm on board with you guys.
By employees, which were somewhat slaves, written and created by the 1%. And a lot of people think, and I agree with it, was a way to control people. And it's still the greatest. A lady, this wonderful teacher at Orange Coast College in California, I had a marketing class. She goes, the greatest marketing campaign to this day that's ever ran, ever in the history of life, and this is the topic I'm kind of getting to, is the Bible and religion. And now there's over 2,000 religions, and there are a lot of people out there that are controlled by religions. They're not only controlled by religions, but they're controlled by publications. They're controlled by media sources. They're controlled by what they're reading, what they're viewing, what they're listening to, and it's all around us now. There's just no getting around, there's no getting around these things. There's just no getting around it. We have a plethora of sources to gain information. As the Bible says, do not eat from the tree of knowledge. And I believe that, in a sense, kind of ironic now that we actually have the tree of knowledge, which is the internet. And you can find some wonderful things. And then you can find